Hello my dears, it's Sarah from She Holds Dearly, and I am actually celebrating my Mother's Day today, which is going to lead into the topic of this video. I'm still wearing my dress from church. I've had a leisurely day and everyone has been so good to me. And one of the things that I requested is that we would move forward on our porch renovation, which has been a long time coming. I think one of the sweetest things though is that you have loved the porch. If you've been around here for a while, there has been such enthusiasm every time I publish a porch video or we put something on the website, in the journal. I'm always just kind of tickled and baffled at how well that content does. It's just so sweet that you enjoy this porch as much as I do. But now we are ready to tackle this porch for real. And one of the weird things about this house is that this wooden porch, because a lot of times they are wooden decks with these old houses, at some point, maybe 50 years ago, someone just poured concrete over the top of a wooden deck. I mean, do you see how this could be problematic? We have watched it, rot and deteriorate underneath, and then of course the concrete is just caving and cracking. So I'm going to take you around. Our first hurdle is understanding the actual quality of the foundation, because I guess the inspector isn't able to actually look at all of the foundation. I didn't realize that. But here's our second porch. We call this the kitchen porch. And I've got some thoughts to run by you actually. I'll show you my inspiration pictures, but I mean, you've seen this one. It's not dressed up at the moment. It is fun to dress up. I especially love the light there and how low it hangs. It just feels like it's at the height where it would be like you were holding it in your hand, and that's just really sweet to me. And this is just a great little spot for seating. It's like it's a great size. And then of course we have our garbage bins here. So one of the things I would like to do that I have to convince Colby of is I want to do a wall right here, a trellis or something, and grow vines. I love old houses. It just looks so English cottage to add vines on a house. And of course Colby is not gonna let me do that because it's so bad for the siding. He had a professional painting company for 10 years and he said it just destroys anything, to grow ivy on a house or up a chimney or something. It's terrible for it. So he will never let me do that. I know that. I'm not even gonna ask. But I have seen, like, Pretty in the Pines actually recently did this, where she did planters and then hung a trellis from the ceiling and then grew things on it. And so I have actually already have the roses picked out, some climbing roses to disguise our area where the garbage cans are, and I think that'll be a really pretty backdrop. I have an idea for actually the roof, which is probably not going to work, but I'll show it to you. And then I have something really special to show you that I thrifted that I'm going to, I think, hang right there where the wood is. This is the porch that is off my kitchen. Well, there's two. There's one on each side, but we call this the chicken porch because this is where our chickens live. Hi, sweets. I don't have any snacks. Your breakfast is in your little house. But this is not, oh gosh, we need to replace the siding. You can see my husband's been patching. But anyway, this is the little porch. I mean, we really don't use it for much. It's cute when the lights are on. But this is gonna become a sunroom off of our kitchen because we do need a nice dining room. So this is our third porch. This is the least glamorous one of all. If you need some direction in your home design decisions, I'm offering a free workshop. Sometimes we get stuck and we don't understand why, and I hear a lot of the same questions year in and year out. In this 1-hour class, we're going to look at the top 10 mistakes I see in decorating. We're going to study examples of them and then talk about what to do instead. Seeing the befores and afters is so helpful, and most of them can be tweaked rather quickly. I hope you can join me to get some new insight and momentum on your spaces. I will put the link in the description below. So here's the house currently. Last summer, we replaced the roof except for the porch roofs because we knew that we wanted to do so much more on them. And so that is something that we are going to be tackling as well. We definitely want to think about pillars. We want to think about a new sidewalk. And so, I mean, you can see over there, we call it the kitchen porch. And we call this the front porch. Okay, we are gonna look under the board here. There was a time when I think it was at Joanne's actually, the kids were watching a movie on this other side of the wall, and they said they thought an earthquake had happened and the porch had collapsed right here. So let's go ahead and take a look. Oh boy, this is not super pretty. Oh gosh, it's really hard to look at. That is completely rotted. That looks awful. Okay. That's the original.
Yep.
Yeah, it's time. Okay, he's driving the tractor around really fast. I have to talk really fast before he gets back with the loud tractor. He says he feels nauseous at how bad the foundation is. I was hoping that we were gonna do the kitchen porch and the front porch at the same time because, you know, if you're gonna be pouring concrete, why don't you just kill two birds with one stone? But I can see I might be overwhelming him with the thought of doing 2 porches. So we're just gonna work on this for now. And I'm gonna work on designs, and I'm going to track down some flagstone. I think I wanna do flagstone sidewalks. I'll show you what I mean here a bit. Okay, he's back with the tractor. It's getting loud again. Okay, I want to share with you my inspiration picks. I have been collecting these for a long time. If you're following me on Pinterest, you may know what I'm talking about. But this is my secret board. So let's pull up some of these pictures and talk about what it is that draws me to them. One of the first thoughts I had was that maybe it would be time for us to add railing on this porch. I do feel like it looks extra substantial and it can feel really cozy, especially if you have, you know, these tables and chairs on your porch. But what I have decided rather quickly is that we don't have the width that we need. And we do use this porch, it's not just decorative, we use it for our firewood, and so there's a lot of sometimes we're pulling a wheelbarrow up on here during the winter time, and we thought about extending the porch out so I could have a true dining table out here, but that would mean that the slope of the roof changes, and I'll show you, but the roof is already at the bottom of the upstairs windows in some places, so I just can't raise the roof anymore to get that width. So I don't think the railing's gonna work. It's just interesting how you can love a look, and the truth is it won't work in the space you're currently in, and we have to respect the things that our house tells us. I call it house whispering, just understanding what's gonna work with the time period and the logistics and maybe the stage of life you're in. You can't just do anything you want, so no railing. Okay, next, and this actually I think we're not gonna get to right now, but would be the kitchen porch. I thought about doing the roof like this awning shape, the metal awning look. This is James Farmer's porch. I love his porch. Okay, here's a smaller version with the little green door. That might be fun, or it might be too much. So there's another one. I don't think I could do the whole wraparound porch like this because I think it would just be too much, but the kitchen porch might be cute to do the little awning look. That would change my idea of having the climbing roses though, so that's something to think about. Then I need to decide on what the flooring portion or the decking portion is going to be. So currently it's this concrete, which I like the color. I like that it's kind of rustic looking, but a wooden porch would look very appropriate for the period of this house. It was built in 1906. And it also is really economical. So Colby's designing underneath to build up a little wall around the base so that no rodents or anything will get under the deck. And then I think we're gonna do wood. So then I need to think about what type of wood and what color of stain. I will be doing that with you as well. Brick was an option, but I'm moving away from the brick idea. Of course, slate and brick, so pretty. Then I have to talk about the pillars. And initially I had thought about doing columns, but every house I'm looking at with columns, pretty much every house, well, actually this one with the porch swing isn't too big, but a lot of times houses that have columns are pretty substantial. It's a pretty grand architectural feature to add, and my house isn't really like that. It's more farmhousey, it's more cottagey, and that's okay. I can go with that. So I don't think I'm gonna do true pillars, but they do have some really neat ones where you can just wrap around a post and get that look. So that brings me to the idea of keeping the posts, but dressing them up, adding onto them somehow. I love these corbels that create arches, and you can go smaller or larger. There's sort of that crown molding cap going on a lot of these. Of course, there's that Gothic look on James Farmer's porch, the little arches. This porch I've saved for a long time. It's, I believe, Swedish or Gustavian style, and there's quite a bit going on with the corbels, and then not just in between the posts, but actually on the front side of the post. I actually like that. I think we could play with that idea. And I have a really great architectural salvage yard we could go to. There's some simple ones, the gray. Oh, I love the green. Maybe it's just that I love the color. No, I love more than the color. But see what I mean? How the corbels, and actually they don't just have corbels, but it's very subtle here, but they actually put in a solid arch in between the posts, and then the corbels out in front. That I think is my favorite. Yeah, so they could be open, they could be closed. I'm excited. Okay, lights. Okay, originally, we talked about this a year ago in an older video, but I thought about doing these schoolhouse lights. But here's the deal. I have these lights, actually right here. These I got from Home Depot. They are discontinued, but I'm gonna try to find them for you in another place because I do have the brand name. They weren't very expensive, and I love them so much. So I feel like adding schoolhouse pendants down this long section would be too much. I don't want to compete with the lantern style. So right now we just have can lighting, 3 can lights, and I think actually we'll just continue that. Okay, sidewalks. This is another. I think the pillars and the sidewalk has the most attention from me because you can just get the most character and the most custom look with these 2 things. Again, I was thinking herringbone brick, but then I started wanting to do LVP flooring over our wood flooring because it's too soft, and we're getting another dog. There's a lot of things going on. So I need hard floors, something that can handle 2 big dogs. I want to figure out how to do herringbone with LVP and make it look really old world. And so that's a project I want to tackle in the fall. But I thought herringbone brick outside and then herringbone right when you come in the house, I just think it's too much. So I think the floors are going to win this one. And actually, the more I'm looking at this house and thinking about not having the gray that I currently have with the concrete, I really think we need to do flagstone. as much as I love the brick. So this picture is so beautiful, and this is a good inspiration picture for actually the whole feel that I want for my house. So very English cottage, but a lot of light airiness to it. So I love the stone floor here with rubber boots. Now I feel like flagstone, when I'm looking at it on Pinterest, I feel like flagstone can be done very contrived. It can be too many colors. So I don't want any red in my stone. It can look too perfect. I mean, I think it has to do with the color of the mortar or the concrete in between, and how messy it is along the edges, and if there's vegetation. So here's some good examples that look like they're 100 years old. That's what I'm going for. Very English cottage, and just looks like it was done, you know, in another era. And so this last one it's too perfect to me, and I think it's that the edge is so perfect, maybe that it's too smooth. So I really need to break down the details that I want to get in the sidewalk. And it's long, it goes around 2/3 of the house, so it could be really expensive. I am planning on actually sourcing a lot of it through just scraps off of Facebook Marketplace. Oh, and then final details. So, you know, I'm shooting for the trellis with the climbing roses on the other porch. I actually would love maybe a hammock if we could figure it out. I feel like I have enough length. I feel like we could put a hammock somewhere. And then vegetation. That's actually a question I'd like you to weigh in on. Should we actually do vegetation along the edge of the porch, like maybe with some boxwood or something? I don't want to have to weed it. I don't want to have to water it. So, you know, maybe I can't have my cake and eat it too. But tell me what you think of those like questions that I have up in the air. And yeah, I'm excited to hear what you think. Okay, I'm really excited about this piece. I've been saving it for a long time. It was $45 from my favorite thrift store in Snohomish, Washington. You can just see why I fell in love with it. Look at all that detailing. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is that I want to turn this into a porch swing, but I want the back to show. We'll have to build out the seat, and I'll make a cushion, and I'll have to restore that wood. I think that it will fit facing my climbing rose area on the kitchen porch. So hopefully I'm gonna get my wish on that too. Now, one final question, and then I'll give you a quick update on what's going on there. But this window has always been smaller than the other one. It's because there used to be 2 rooms, I believe. I mean, I know there was 2 rooms, but I guess that's why they did 2 different size windows. So now might be the time to match, get a bigger one on this side. One thing I do like about this is that my church pew over there fits really nicely under the smaller window. So I don't hate it. Okay, so then let's just get a little update on what's going on here. So we're horrified about the state of our foundation. The cats think it's the coolest thing that they can get under the house, and they will be patrolling while we get this all figured out, making sure nobody moves in underneath there. But we kind of have it's sealed up for the moment, but we have called 3 specialists, and 1, maybe 2 will be coming next week. We do need to do some serious foundation work. Hopefully it's just that one beam. That's what I'm praying for. So that's it for this week's video. I was sad that we didn't get to work on the porch last year, but come to find out, a lot of times waiting results in a better product. I'm excited to be going the direction of the flagstone sidewalks. I think that the wood will be really pretty for the actual deck portion. And you know, I would have done it differently a year ago. And so, I mean, I don't want to wait forever to get things done, but it is hopefully encouraging to you if you're waiting. Just look at it as a way that it's just going to develop into a lot better product because you have time to think about it. Anyway, there's a lot of little details to come, but first is the demo, the rest of the demo and the reconstruction. So let me know in the comments below what advice you have, what design thoughts you have, and as always, thank you so much for watching. And if you're new here, please subscribe. This is a great group, if I do say so myself. Okay, take care. I'll talk to you soon.